the new God of riches, the new gods of riches, the new God of riches, the new goddess of riches, the new goddesses of riches, the new goddess of riches, the old God of riches, the old gods of riches, the old God of riches, the old goddess of riches, the old goddesses of riches, the old goddess of riches, the greater God of riches, the greater gods of riches, the greater God of riches, the greater goddess of riches, the greater goddesses of riches, the greater goddess of riches, the lesser God of riches, the lesser gods of riches, the lesser God of riches, the lesser goddess of riches, the lesser goddesses of riches, the lesser goddess of riches, the higher God of riches, the higher gods of riches, the higher God of riches, the higher goddess of riches, the higher goddesses of riches, the higher goddess of riches, the lower God of riches, the lower gods of riches, the lower God of riches, the lower goddess of riches, the lower goddesses of riches, the lower goddess of riches, the greater spirit of riches, the greater spirits of riches, the greater spirit of riches, the lesser spirit of riches, the lesser spirits of riches, the lesser spirit of riches, the higher spirit of riches, the higher spirits of riches, the higher spirit of riches, the lower spirit of riches, the lower spirits of riches, the lower spirit of riches, the major God of riches, the major gods of riches, the major God of riches, the major goddess of riches, the major goddesses of riches, the major goddess of riches, the minor God of riches, the minor gods of riches, the minor God of riches, the minor goddess of riches, the minor goddesses of riches, the minor goddess of riches, the superior God of riches, the superior gods of riches, the superior God of riches, the superior goddess of riches, the superior goddesses of riches, the superior goddess of riches, the inferior God of riches, the inferior gods of riches, the inferior God of riches, the inferior goddess of riches, the inferior goddesses of riches, the inferior goddess of riches, the ancestor God of riches, the ancestor gods of riches, the ancestor God of riches, the ancestor goddess of riches, the ancestor goddesses of riches, the ancestor goddess of riches, the ascendant God of riches, the ascendant gods of riches, the ascendant God of riches, the ascendant goddess of riches, the ascendant goddesses of riches, the ascendant goddess of riches, the descendant God of riches, the descendant gods of riches, the descendant God of riches, the descendant goddess of riches, the descendant goddesses of riches, the descendant goddess of riches, the transcendent God of riches, the transcendent gods of riches, the transcendent God of riches, the transcendent goddess of riches, the transcendent goddesses of riches, the transcendent goddess of riches, the past God of riches, the past gods of riches, the past God of riches, the past goddess of riches, the past goddesses of riches, the past goddess of riches, the present God of riches, the present gods of riches, the present God of riches, the present goddess of riches, the present goddesses of riches, the present goddess of riches, the future God of riches, the future gods of riches, the future God of riches, the future goddess of riches, the future goddesses of riches, the future goddess of riches, the authentic God of riches, the authentic gods of riches, the authentic God of riches, the authentic goddess of riches, the authentic goddesses of riches, the authentic goddess of riches, the synthetic God of riches, the synthetic gods of riches, the synthetic God of riches, the synthetic goddess of riches, the synthetic goddesses of riches, the synthetic goddess of riches, the progressive God of riches, the progressive gods of riches, the progressive God of riches, the progressive goddess of riches, the progressive goddesses of riches, the progressive goddess of riches, the regressive God of riches, the regressive gods of riches, the regressive God of riches, the regressive goddess of riches, the regressive goddesses of riches, the regressive goddess of riches, the ordinary God of riches, the ordinary gods of riches, the ordinary God of riches, the ordinary goddess of riches, the ordinary goddesses of riches, the ordinary goddess of riches, the extraordinary God of riches, the extraordinary gods of riches, the extraordinary God of riches, the extraordinary goddess of riches, the extraordinary goddesses of riches, the extraordinary goddess of riches, the static God of riches, the static gods of riches, the static God of riches, the static goddess of riches, the static goddesses of riches, the static goddess of riches, the dynamic God of riches, the dynamic gods of riches, the dynamic God of riches, the dynamic goddess of riches, the dynamic goddesses of riches, the dynamic goddess of riches, the land God of riches, the land gods of riches, the land God of riches, the land goddess of riches, the land goddesses of riches, the land goddess of riches, the sea God of riches, the sea gods of riches, the sea God of riches, the sea goddess of riches, the sea goddesses of riches, the sea goddess of riches, the sky God of riches, the sky gods of riches, the sky God of riches, the sky goddess of riches, the sky goddesses of riches, the sky goddess of riches, the God of riches, the gods of riches, the God of riches, the goddess of riches, the goddesses of riches, the goddess of riches, the half God of riches, the half gods of riches, the half God of riches, the half goddess of riches, the half goddesses of riches, the half goddess of riches, the vessel of riches, the vessels of riches, the vessel of riches, the name of riches, the names of riches, the name of riches, the person of riches, the persons of riches, the person of riches, the person of riches, the personas of riches, the person of riches, the personage of riches, the personages of riches, the personage of riches, the personality of riches, the personalities of riches, the personality of riches, the personification of riches, the personifications of riches, the personification of riches, the image of riches, the images of riches, the image of riches, the imagination of riches, the imaginations of riches, the imagination of riches, the belief of riches, the beliefs of riches, the belief of riches, the thought of riches, the thoughts of riches, the thought of riches, the word of riches, the words of riches, the word of riches, the action of riches, the actions of riches, the action of riches, the reaction of riches, the reactions of riches, the reaction of riches, the feeling of riches, the feelings of riches, the feeling of riches, the situation of riches, the situations of riches, the situation of riches, the circumstance of riches, the circumstances of riches, the circumstance of riches, the environment of riches, the environments of riches, the environment of riches, the relationship of riches, the relationships of riches, the relationship of riches, the number of riches, the numbers of riches, the number of riches, the formula of riches, the formulas of riches, the formula of riches, the equation of riches, the equations of riches, the equation of riches, the theory of riches, the theories of riches, the theory of riches, the symbol of riches, the symbols of riches, the symbol of riches, the color of riches, the colors of riches, the color of riches, the thing of riches, the things of riches, the thing of riches, the way of riches, the ways of riches, the way of riches, the place of riches, the places of riches, the place of riches, the time of riches, the times of riches, the time of riches, the event of riches, the events of riches, the event of riches, the result of riches, the results of riches, the result of riches, the crown of riches, the crowns of riches, the crown of riches, the throne of riches, the thrones of riches, the throne of riches, the richest king, the richest kings, the richest kingdom, the richest kingdoms, the richest king's subject, the richest king's subjects, the richest king's dominion, the richest king's dominions, the kingdom of riches, the kingdoms of riches, the kingdom of riches, the riches queen, the riches queens, the riches queendom, the riches queendoms, the riches queen subject, the riches queen subjects, the riches queen's dominion, the riches queen's dominions, the queendom of riches, the queendoms of riches, the queendom of riches, the riches prince, the riches princes, the riches princedom, the riches princedoms, the riches prince's subject, the riches prince's subjects, the riches prince's dominion, the riches prince's dominions, the princedom of riches, the princedoms of riches, the princedom of riches, the riches princess, the riches princesses, the riches princessdom, the riches princessdoms, the riches princess's subject, the riches princess's subjects, the riches princess's dominion, the riches princess's dominions, the princessdom of riches, the princessdoms of riches, the princessdom of riches, the lord of riches, the lords of riches, the lord of riches, the lordess of riches, the lordesses of riches, the lordess of riches, the priest of riches, the priests of riches, the priest of riches, the priestess of riches, the priestesses of riches, the priestess of riches, the ritual of riches, the rituals of riches, the ritual of riches, the shrine of riches, the shrines of riches, the shrine of riches, the temple of riches, the temples of riches, the temple of riches, the leader of riches, the leaders of riches, the leader of riches, the follower of riches, the followers of riches, the follower of riches, the natural substance of riches, the natural substances of riches, the natural substance of riches, the supernatural substance of riches, the supernatural substances of riches, the supernatural substance of riches, the temporal substance of riches, the temporal substances of riches, the temporal substance of riches, the spiritual substance of riches, the spiritual substances of riches, the spiritual substance of riches, the natural form of riches, the natural forms of riches, the natural form of riches, the supernatural form of riches, the supernatural forms of riches, the supernatural form of riches, the temporal form of riches, the temporal forms of riches, the temporal form of riches, the spiritual form of riches, the spiritual forms of riches, the spiritual form of riches, the age of riches, the ages of riches, the age of riches, the era of riches, the heiress of riches, the era of riches, the awakener of riches, the awakeners of riches, the awakener of riches, the awakening of riches, the awakenings of riches, the awakening of riches, the realm of riches, the realms of riches, the realm of riches, the dimension of riches, the dimensions of riches, the dimension of riches, the zone of riches, the zones of riches, the zone of riches, the frequency of riches, the frequencies of riches, the frequency of riches, the century of riches, the centuries of riches, the century of riches, the millennium of riches, the millenniums of riches, the millennium of riches, the purpose of riches, the purposes of riches, the purpose of riches, the meaning of riches, the meanings of riches, the meaning of riches, the culture of riches, the cultures of riches, the culture of riches, the demonstrator of riches, the demonstrators of riches, the demonstrator of riches, the demonstration of riches, the demonstrations of riches, the demonstration of riches, the manifester of riches, the manifestors of riches, the manifester of riches, the manifestation of riches, the manifestations of riches, the manifestation of riches, the presence of riches, the presences of riches, the presence of riches, the glow of riches, the glows of riches, the glow of riches, the goal of riches, the goals of riches, the goal of riches, the plan of riches, the plans of riches, the plan of riches, the book of riches, the books of riches, the book of riches, the philosopher of riches, the philosophers of riches, the philosopher of riches, the philosophy of riches, the philosophies of riches, the philosophy of riches, the releaser of riches, the releasers of riches, the releaser of riches, the release of riches, the releases of riches, the release of riches, the variable of riches, the variables of riches, the variable of riches, the cause of riches, the causes of riches, the cause of riches, the effect of riches, the effects of riches, the effect of riches, the journey of riches, the journeys of riches, the journey of riches, the emergence of riches, the emergences of riches, the emergence of riches, the source of riches, the sources of riches, the source of riches, the originator of riches, the originators of riches, the originator of riches, the origin of riches, the origins of riches, the origin of riches, the forefather of riches, the forefathers of riches, the forefather of riches, the foremother of riches, the foremothers of riches, the foremother of riches, the ancestor of riches, the ancestors of riches, the ancestor of riches, the descendant of riches, the descendants of riches, the descendant of riches, the lineage of riches, the lineages of riches, the lineage of riches, the heritage of riches, the heritages of riches, the heritage of riches, the heir of riches, the heirs of riches, the heir of riches, the co-heir of riches, the co-heirs of riches, the co-heir of riches, the joint heir of riches, the joint heirs of riches, the joint heir of riches, the dynasty of riches, the dynasties of riches, the dynasty of riches, the force of riches, the forces of riches, the force of riches, the law of riches, the laws of riches, the law of riches, the pact of riches, the pacts of riches, the pact of riches, the game of riches, the games of riches, the game of riches, the mask of riches, the masks of riches, the mask of riches, the armor of riches, the armors of riches, the armor of riches, the sword of riches, the swords of riches, the sword of riches, the shield of riches, the shields of riches, the shield of riches, the force shield of riches, the force shields of riches, the force shield of riches, the armored force shield of riches, the armored force shields of riches, the armored force shield of riches, the champion of riches, the champions of riches, the champion of riches, the guardian of riches, the guardians of riches, the guardian of riches, the defender of riches, the defenders of riches, the defender of riches, the protector of riches, the protectors of riches, the protector of riches, the chant of riches, the chants of riches, the chant of riches, the shape of riches, the shapes of riches, the shape of riches, the cube of riches, the cubes of riches, the cube of riches, the cuboid of riches, the cuboids of riches, the cuboid of riches, the sphere of riches, the spheres of riches, the sphere of riches, the spheroid of riches, the spheroids of riches, the spheroid of riches, the prism of riches, the prisms of riches, the prism of riches, the pyramid of riches, the pyramids of riches, the pyramid of riches, the cylinder of riches, the cylinders of riches, the cylinder of riches, the cone of riches, the cones of riches, the cone of riches, the triangle of riches, the triangles of riches, the triangle of riches, the circle of riches, the circles of riches, the circle of riches, the semicircle of riches, the semicircles of riches, the semicircle of riches, the square of riches, the squares of riches, the square of riches, the rectangle of riches, the rectangles of riches, the rectangle of riches, the parallelogram of riches, the parallelograms of riches, the parallelogram of riches, the rhombus of riches, the rhombuses of riches, the rhombus of riches, the trapezoid of riches, the trapezoids of riches, the trapezoid of riches, the polygon of riches, the polygons of riches, the polygon of riches, the pentagon of riches, the pentagons of riches, the pentagon of riches, the hexagon of riches, the hexagons of riches, the hexagon of riches, the septagon of riches, the septagons of riches, the septagon of riches, the octagon of riches, the octagons of riches, the octagon of riches, the nonagon of riches, the nonagons of riches, the nonagon of riches, the decagon of riches, the decagons of riches, the decagon of riches, the evolution of riches, the evolutions of riches, the evolution of riches, the revolution of riches, the revolutions of riches, the revolution of riches, the elemental art of riches, the elemental arts of riches, the elemental art of riches, the elemental science of riches, the elemental sciences of riches, the elemental science of riches, the elemental principle of riches, the elemental principles of riches, the elemental principle of riches, the elemental technology of riches, the elemental technologies of riches, the elemental technology of riches, the low elemental art of riches, the low elemental arts of riches, the low elemental art of riches, the low elemental science of riches, the low elemental sciences of riches, the low elemental science of riches, the low elemental principle of riches, the low elemental principles of riches, the low elemental principle of riches, the low elemental technology of riches, the low elemental technologies of riches, the low elemental technology of riches, the high elemental art of riches, the high elemental arts of riches, the high elemental art of riches, the high elemental science of riches, the high elemental sciences of riches, the high elemental science of riches, the high elemental principle of riches, the high elemental principles of riches, the high elemental principle of riches, the high elemental technology of riches, the high elemental technologies of riches, the high elemental technology of riches, the agent of riches, the agents of riches, the agent of riches, the agency of riches, the agencies of riches, the agency of riches, the amplifier of riches, the amplifiers of riches, the amplifier of riches, the amplification of riches, the amplifications of riches, the amplification of riches, the enhancer of riches, the enhancers of riches, the enhancer of riches, the enhancement of riches, the enhancements of riches, the enhancement of riches, the magnifier of riches, the magnifiers of riches, the magnifier of riches, the magnification of riches, the magnifications of riches, the magnification of riches, the influencer of riches, the influencers of riches, the influencer of riches, the influence of riches, the influences of riches, the influence of riches, the emanator of riches, the emanators of riches, the emanator of riches, the emanation of riches, the emanations of riches, the emanation of riches, the converger of riches, the convergers of riches, the converger of riches, the convergence of riches, the convergences of riches, the convergence of riches, the aura of riches, the auras of riches, the aura of riches, the impression of riches, the impressions of riches, the impression of riches, the intelligence of riches, the intelligences of riches, the intelligence of riches, the sophistication of riches, the sophistications of riches, the sophistication of riches, the genius of riches, the geniuses of riches, the genius of riches, the polymath of riches, the polymaths of riches, the polymath of riches, the psychic of riches, the psychics of riches, the psychic of riches, the knowledge of riches, the knowledges of riches, the knowledge of riches, the understanding of riches, the understandings of riches, the understanding of riches, the wisdom of riches, the wisdoms of riches, the wisdom of riches, the secret of riches, the secrets of riches, the secret of riches, the mystery of riches, the mysteries of riches, the mystery of riches, the revelation of riches, the revelations of riches, the revelation of riches, the tactic of riches, the tactics of riches, the tactic of riches, the strategy of riches, the strategies of riches, the strategy of riches, the strength of riches, the strengths of riches, the strength of riches, the might of riches, the mights of riches, the might of riches, the power of riches, the powers of riches, the power of riches, the authority of riches, the authorities of riches, the authority of riches, the dominion of riches, the dominions of riches, the dominion of riches, the rhythm of riches, the rhythms of riches, the rhythm of riches, the melody of riches, the melodies of riches, the melody of riches, the music of riches, the musics of riches, the music of riches, the lyric of riches, the lyrics of riches, the lyric of riches, the song of riches, the songs of riches, the song of riches, the dance of riches, the dances of riches, the dance of riches, the spirit of riches, the spirits of riches, the spirit of riches, the soul of riches, the souls of riches, the soul of riches, the body of riches, the bodies of riches, the body of riches, the mark of riches, the marks of riches, the mark of riches, the promise of riches, the promises of riches, the promise of riches, the visionary of riches, the visionaries of riches, the visionary of riches, the vision of riches, the visions of riches, the vision of riches, the picture of riches, the pictures of riches, the picture of riches, the sound of riches, the sounds of riches, the sound of riches, the tongue of riches, the tongues of riches, the tongue of riches, the language of riches, the languages of riches, the language of riches, the communication of riches, the communications of riches, the communication of riches, the people of riches, the peoples of riches, the people of riches, the society of riches, the societies of riches, the society of riches, the fortress of riches, the fortresses of riches, the fortress of riches, the government of riches, the governments of riches, the government of riches, the city of riches, the cities of riches, the city of riches, the nation of riches, the nations of riches, the nation of riches, the civilization of riches, the civilizations of riches, the civilization of riches, the world of riches, the worlds of riches, the world of riches,